Welcome to the Understanding Mind. This is James. Today I'm going to be talking about my art, my venture with art, and like what I plan on doing with it. I know they say do not expose like yourself, but whatever is given to you, whatever is provided for you, will not be taken. Whoever tries to mimic the things that you try to do will not have the same outcome, because sometimes things are not meant for them, they're meant for you. Regardless of how well it may seem to go out for the next person, it will not fully compromise towards its full ability to succeed if it is stolen from you. Before I tell the story, I would like to say I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I don't know how people feel about that. That's just my belief. Like, I have certain beliefs because my belief became more stronger when I was in California. And it became more stronger because at that moment I just felt like I didn't have nothing, and I just started breaking down. And that was during the process of figuring out more about myself. And so like the thing about like why I came into art didn't come like right away. It came more in the later sense towards like the middle part of the years that I was in California. So the reason why I went to Cali is because I wanted to find more of a purpose towards myself. So when I was in California, I was trying to do projects and it just didn't go as I planned, you know? So then I started to look more into myself. And so throughout the time when I was looking more into myself, I prayed to God and I was asking Him. The first question I asked Him, the first prayer to be a fact, was if there's anything you would like me to see, show it to me, even if it's not something that I would personally like, just present it towards me in order for me to understand the aspect that needs to change my way of thinking, change my way of viewing. And so throughout that time, I started seeing things starting to be exposed more towards me and being like presented to me in a way where I'm just like, it was kind of more like of the harsh truth about everything and everyone that I've had in my life. And so like during that time, I was going down a rabbit hole of just understanding things, and which I am very grateful for today, because it's like now it's like when I see things, it's like I know what it is. Like I've always knew what it was, but now it's just more clear. It's just more like a book. You read the book and you understand it, and that's just what it is. You know, you see the story of it. You see the story frame of things that are across from you, or people that you come across. You just understand the character, I asked Him, allow me to be the person that you would allow me to be. I was like, I come forward to you because I am lost and I would like to have a life worth living. Show me the presentation, show me the person, show me the creative aspect of who I am. And so during that time, something was telling me to start painting again, right? And so like I've always been a creative person since I was little, and like I've always had gaps because there was like other things that I got into with like technology and stuff like that. And like so from that point on, like my creative aspects was learning how to do graphic design, which a friend of mine that I met in college actually inspired me to do. I wanted to do filmmaking, and so now like I got into art, right? I was not too sure if I was gonna like painting again, so I only bought two colors, which was black and white, right? So then all of my paintings that I have done, besides one, which was a Mary, were all black and white, right? So I noticed throughout the progress, I have painted a few sets of paintings, and then something would happen. So like I would not paint for a couple months. And so during that gap, I have had things where I've like studied and like, discussed with, close people, like spiritual aspects, with God and religion and all these sorts of things, psychology, like philosophy and all this stuff. And so when my next set of paintings came, it's like I saw the progression. It's like during those times, I would watch like people like paint, I would like study their techniques, and then like I would implement it into my techniques, and I would implement it into my style. That's how I learned. And it's like so it came to that point, right? And so then I seen the progress within my paintings. And then during that time, I asked God, I was like, look, I was like, I have the creative aspect that you allow me to have, but there is more to that. You know, I've noticed that, like, I sold some paintings, and I noticed, I was like, okay, like, I sell paintings, but I'm not making money on it. So then I was like, teach me how to be the person that allow me to learn the knowledge within the field in order for me to understand what it really means to like see it. So then I started like digging, and I don't know, all these resources just started popping up. And then I'm very much well in the sense of like, I started learning about it, and I started going more into depth about it, and then I started to understand that why, in my opinion, I believe that art is dead, in my opinion. And like, I'm not saying like I have the craziest paintings, I'm not saying I have the most perfect paintings or anything like that, but like, I guess like through the society of like how like it has been structured, art had become dead towards a sense where like it is nowhere near from what it was from back then towards like the modern time. And back then it was just more beautiful, like at the Renaissance it had like, you know, had more meaning, like Van Gogh, and then it went always like, you know, straight to the point where like Basquiat, and then showed his street form of art. And then now it's just more like there's a bunch of very blissful artists that make unique paintings or creative arts, but it is very like socialized through it's very like social media wise. It's like, it's just more in the sense, it's just branding at this point. Like, it is not like, there is no love for art at this point. And so like, the reason being why I've made my pieces the way I've made them, it's because I want God to come into me, to speak to me, so I could speak to people, be a presentation. And like, I guess I just want to spread the message of like towards everyone that's around me. And I know I could do it like through YouTube videos, but I'd also like to do it in person. But I don't want to be like one of those like people that like, you know, like that shout out like to praise God and stuff like that. I want to have like an actual interaction with people where I feel like I'm not like structured to like put things down like people's throats, you know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a discussion about God. It could probably be like, I don't know everything in the world, but like, you know, people usually come and talk to me, and we always like talk about life and stuff like that. So it's like, I just want to like talk to people. I feel like that's where God comes into my presentation, where like, you know, just like, even if like, you know, they see a piece, I want them to see like the inner part of themselves and make them reflect their mindsets and like, you know, the bad parts that tears people down, because we all have bad parts regardless. No one is perfect, regardless of the most person that may seem like they're perfect, like maybe in the eyes of like, you know, the media or anything like that. No one is not perfect. Everyone has internal breakdowns that like we all go through. We just don't present in the actual world. And like, the name that I go by, and like, you know, there's like other things and details that like I'm not gonna actually like get into, but the name that I go by is like, I would say the death arts. And it's not in the sense of like just death, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of like people have a bad representation of like what death is. I feel like death should be like the internal healing of something that's like within you or that's around you. Like, this is like one of my paintings right here. I have this one right here. I have this one here. This one here. I have this one here. I feel like I believe what I said is like death is like the death art galleries is more like the presentation that modern art is dead, and it's just like, it's like, it just feels like to me that there's not really like a lot of meaning that people put within the stuff that they put out there. And it's like, they're very good at the things that they do, but without like a representation, without like a description, or without the sense of like the attributes of God within it that's supposed to touch like within like someone's like soul. It's like reading a book of poetry or something. It's like art is supposed to be viewed as. something that's supposed to connect within the soul. I just feel like it's not like that no more. I just feel like it's just the modernization had just created it to be like a business format where like it just doesn't have value. It only has value based on the people that buy it within the worth of what they own. If you're an artist, let me know, hit me up. My Instagram is the Death Art Galleries. I am in that month gap at the moment. You know, things are always going up and down within my life, and I will be doing more paintings, but this is why I started doing art. This is why I believe God has put it in my life, and this is why I believe art is dead.